Hi guys, welcome back. I wanted to share some lightweight products for wavy or curly hair in this video. I realized recently that I've never done a video like this that's dedicated to lightweight products, and I know a lot of people prefer that, especially with cream products. That's something, if you have very fine hair, I feel like it's not something that's talked about as much though. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and get into it. I have a decent amount of stuff here to share with you, so I don't want this to be a super long video. I hope that you will enjoy it, and subscribe if you're new. All of my socials and stuff are linked in the description box, and let's get into the products. The only type of product I'm not sharing in this video are shampoos and conditioners. This is really more focused on styling types of products. I have a few other things here, but I feel like knowing the best lightweight stylers is a little bit more helpful to people, and it's a little bit harder to find the right thing. So starting out with creams, curl creams are the one thing that it's really hard to find very lightweight options. They tend to be very, very thick in like a curly line, especially at the drugstore. So I do have one affordable one here. We'll talk about that one first. This is from the Suave Luscious Curls line, and it is their defining cream. So this is from the Suave Pink line that I feel like was really talked about in the last year or so, and I did do a review on the line not too long ago. I did say I liked this curl cream. It's not like my favorite curl cream I've ever tried, but as far as affordable creams that are more on the lightweight side, nothing too thick, this one is a really good option, because at the drugstore, you almost have to go in the leave-in conditioner route to find something that's not too thick. And this one is definitely on the thinner, more lightweight side. Because of that, it doesn't have a crazy amount of hold or do a ton. And I think that's why I haven't talked about it a ton in the last however long I've had it. But if you prefer something that you don't want your hair to be weighed down, maybe you do have more fine hair, or you're going to pair it with another styler that's a little more stronghold, I definitely think this is a good option at the drugstore. It's super affordable, and it's just a simple, easy to use curl cream, like something that I feel like would work for a lot of different hair types if you want something more lightweight. So I do recommend this one. And then the other two are at a little bit more of a higher price point, but still not crazy or anything. The first one is the JVN Complete Air Dry Cream. I've talked about this a lot. It's definitely one of my favorite curl creams at this point, one that I really love to pair with other stylers. It also works surprisingly well on its own, and will give you a decent amount of definition if you just use it as a one and done styler. But it's lightweight, and it doesn't weigh your hair down, and it's very enjoyable to use. I will say it doesn't bother me personally at all, but I have heard a few people mention they don't love the scent of this. It's not anything super strong at all, but it's not super great, I guess. I feel like it's kind of interesting. It's light and a little bit fresh, but it has something in there. Maybe it's like a soapy type of scent that I feel like people don't like. Something like that. Like I said, it's very light. It doesn't bother me. I feel like it dissipates pretty quickly, but if you're very sensitive to scents, that's just something to keep in mind. I've really enjoyed so far what I've tried from JVN as a brand, and I would definitely love to try more from them. The number one product on my hair care wish list, like I mentioned in a video that I did on my wish list like a couple weeks ago, is the JVN Blowout Styling Milk. I would love to get that for my heat styling days. So I just really enjoy the brand, and this is definitely one of my favorite, if not my favorite, curl creams. It's just a go-to staple for me in my collection. And then the last one is my oldest, most talked about curl cream. I've mentioned it 5 billion times on my channel, but this is the Briogeo Curl Charisma Cream. This is definitely a very lightweight cream, but it still provides moisture. So I feel like it's a good in-between, and it doesn't give me a ton of hold on its own, but I just feel like it really helps with frizz and smooths out my hair and gives me that little bit of definition I need. I do tend to prefer layering this with other stylers though. I do feel like the JVN one out of all of three of these creams does provide the most definition. It is the curly wavy hair product that I've had and loved for the longest. There is a little bit of protein in here, but it's nothing intense. I've never gotten a protein overload from this. I don't think I've heard anyone else say they have, but just something to keep in mind if you are very sensitive to protein. Maybe do a little bit of research, but I feel like it's the perfect amount. It doesn't do anything too crazy. So that is it for curl creams. I have a couple leave-ins here I want to share. Let's mention gel type products, because I really went for super lightweight gels here. I don't have anything very strong hold or that I would use on its own as a main styler because I feel like I like to pair them with stronger hold products, but if you prefer something very lightweight, this is what I would recommend. So this first one is affordable. It's from the Rhyme&Reason brand. You can find it at Target. It is their Wave Revival Gel Serum. I've talked about this quite a bit in the last year or so, and I feel like it's a really interesting product because it is kind of like a gel serum hybrid. It really is very thin and runny, but it has this nice slip to it and it pairs really well with other things. For my hair personally, I like to use this with like a stronger hold cream and maybe even a mousse or something, but I really enjoy the product and I think it's just a really great lightweight gel-like product if that is something that you're looking for. It really does smooth my hair. I feel like it helps with frizz, and it's just a really great add-on to a lot of different styling routines. It pairs really well with so many things. And the other one is one that I've gotten more into recently, but I hadn't used this for a long time, even though I loved it when I first got it. I have mentioned it again, though, in a few recent videos. This is the Ouidad Curl Shaper Volumizing Jelly. So this is a really unique jelly, kind of milky looking styler, and it's definitely not a cream, but it's also not like a clear gel. Just a very lightweight styler that can be used in so many different ways. I feel like it's so versatile. I've even used this on my dry hair, and it wasn't anything like that made my hair feel producty or sticky. It just feels very hydrating and smoothing, and I really, really like this one. I feel like it does add some volume. It's nothing crazy, but mainly I feel like it is a very hydrating, smoothing jelly styler that I definitely recommend. Like I said, doesn't make your hair feel crunchy or producty if that's something you really don't like. Let's talk about a mousse before I get into the leave-in type products. This is the Rizos Curls Curl Defining Mousse, and this is one that is like kind of a hybrid between a mousse and a foam, which I really like because sometimes I don't want a full-on intense mousse, but I don't very often go for a foam because I feel like it's so lightweight that it doesn't do a ton. I would use a foam more on a refresh day, though you could still totally use this on a refresh day because it's not too heavy at all. But if you are looking for a lightweight foam for wash days, this one is really, really, really good. I highly recommend it for something that isn't too intense, doesn't really leave much of a cast. It pairs really well with other stylers, and it still gives me definition and kind of gives me the results of a mousse without being like the Not Your Mother's one, which I really, really love. You guys know that's my personal favorite mousse, but it's definitely a lot more intense than this one. Another Rizos Curls product that I really love is the Beach Waves Texturizing Salt Spray. This doesn't really fall into a leave-in category. It's just its own product, a salt spray. It's one of the more popular products that's been around the longest for wavy hair. This one is not too intense though. It's very lightweight, but it still does what I want from a salt spray. It just gives that little bit of texture and helps kind of, I don't know, just complete my routine a lot of the time. I really love to pair this with so many different stylers. A lot of the time I'll refresh with this, or I'll just spray it all over my hair at the end of my styling routine on wash day, and it just kind of brings everything together to give me the results I want. This one does have a little bit of a summery, slightly like salty coconut scent. It's nothing strong or overpowering, and it's not a sweet dessert coconut. It's just a light, refreshing, kind of coconutty, salty, fresh scent. So just something to keep in mind because it is more of a summer targeted product, but I do use this all year round. Also, you guys, I mentioned it in a vlog recently, but this does not have the traditional Rizos Curls scent, but I have talked about how much I love that scent. Actually do have one more Rizos Curls product to talk about. I really love the brand so much, and I feel like they end up in every hair video. But the last product I have from them to mention is in their like original scent, and they recently came out with a hair perfume in that scent, and it smells so, so good. It's just like an it girl scent, honestly. Exactly what I would want my hair to smell like. So I will have that link down below as well if I can remember, along with all the rest of these. Just wanted to mention that because I know I have talked about their scent a few times and just said how much I love it. So the product I was talking about is the Refresh and Detangle Spray. This is kind of like a leave-in. I use this as a leave-in. It is milky, but it's lightweight and thin, and it's not like a cream. It definitely can be used on a refresh day or to detangle your hair. It's very multi-use, but I think the way I use it the most is probably on my wash days as a leave-in conditioner. But like I said, very versatile product. Probably my most used leave-in in the last year, and just one that I always go back to and really, really love. I've recommended it many times. And then the last leave-in here is the most lightweight. This is the Kristin Ess Weightless Shine Leave-In Conditioner. I've talked about this a lot on my channel as well. It's another one of the OG products I recommended, and I still love it. It's lightweight and watery and has kind of like a slip to it. Another versatile product that you can use on wash days to refresh, even to detangle. Even though it's like a light watery leave-in, it really does detangle the hair really well because of that slip. There's not too much else I can say about this. I've talked about it a million times, like I said, but probably my top recommendation if you want a very lightweight leave-in conditioner. And it works for so many different hair types. It is not wavy curly specific. This would be great pretty much no matter what hair type you have because it's that lightweight, but it still does what a leave-in should do. And then I have a few more miscellaneous products. I do have a couple of oils, so I'll talk about those first. These are like the most lightweight oils in my collection that I recommend if you are really scared of oils and you don't want something too thick or intense or that's going to make your hair greasy. My number one recommendation is the bread hair oil. I've talked about this one for a long time. It's very thin and lightweight and has a really pleasant sweet scent. It's just a top favorite for me. It's a true staple. Then I do have two others. One that is even thinner than that one, which seems impossible because that one is so lightweight. This is almost like water. It looks like water in the bottle, but it's definitely not water. It is an oil. This is the JVN Complete Nourishing Shine Drops, and they are shine drops. So definitely keep that in mind. I wouldn't use too much of this, just a few drops is enough because it could make your hair look a little too shiny, but they are very thin and lightweight. And a few drops of this on your hair will really smooth out that frizz. It's great to scrunch out a product cast with. Definitely a good one. And then lastly, I do have an affordable option. This is from Pacifica and is their Pineapple Smoothie Glossy Oil. It does smell like a pina colada, so keep that in mind. But this is definitely one of the lightest oils I found at the drugstore. I feel like those sometimes tend to be a little bit thicker. This one is very thin and lightweight like the others, but a more affordable option. And you get quite a bit of product in here for the price, so definitely one that I recommend if you don't mind that pineapple coconut scent. And then I do have a couple of scalp care products because I feel like it can be hard to find lightweight things that still do something for your hair. I know I've talked about oils, especially the rosemary scalp oil on my channel like so many times because I do love those. But if you want something that's going to be very lightweight and kind of give you that nourishment on your scalp, especially if you have like dry or itchy scalp. First one I recommend is the Bread Scalp Serum. Has cooling greens in it. And I just feel like this kind of has a soothing feeling on the scalp. It's very light and thin and it doesn't make your hair greasy, but it is one that I would use before washing. It's not really something I'd put in my hair when it's clean, but it's not hard to shampoo out either. It completely dissolves really easily when you shampoo your hair. So because of that, if you're looking for something lightweight for your scalp, this is one I definitely recommend. It doesn't have a strong cooling sensation, just like a light soothing on the scalp and helps with itchiness. So that's the first one. And then the other one I've talked about before, this is from Amos Professional. You can find it on Amazon. It is their Scalp Nourish Green Tea Essential Tonic. And this one you can use on clean hair. Like even if you're not going to wash your hair, this is really great to put on your scalp when your hair is still damp. It doesn't feel intense or overpowering or anything. It has a very light cooling sensation as well, but nothing strong at all. And this is actually supposed to help with hair growth. It's not one that I have used consistently enough, but it's really enjoyable to use and just feels really nourishing on the scalp. And then lastly, I have a hairspray. So this is kind of interesting. I've talked to you guys about my hairspray that I love from Bedhead, and that's the one I will continue to repurchase. But if you don't want something so stronghold, you just want something a little bit more lightweight, and this is also a natural product. It's from the brand Innersense, and is their I Create finish. I'm pretty much done with this because it is the main hairspray that I used before I discovered the Bedhead one. And it is more lightweight than that one, which, like I said, I tend to prefer something a little stronghold if I'm going to use a hairspray. But if you want something more lightweight, especially if you're going to use it on like wash days to seal in all your product, I think this is a really good one to check out. I don't know why it's not talked about more. I feel like it's a really great one for curly, wavy hair, especially if you're really conscious of the ingredients in your products. So that is the last recommendation for this lightweight hair video. The lighting has slowly been going away during this whole video. The sun is almost down now, but we're finishing just in time. I really hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you've tried any of these. Give me your thoughts. And of course, any recommendations you have for content you'd like to see from me. And that's going to be it for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.